What's up YouTube? Welcome back to another edition of Coding with Robbie. My name's Robbie, and in this video we're going to be covering Shopify Liquid. So Liquid is the templating engine that Shopify uses in its themes. So if you're brand new to theme development, this will make a great first video for you. And if you're experienced, hopefully you can learn something new too. So I'm going to try to cover all the important stuff, all the basics. And yeah, if that sounds good, make sure to like and subscribe, and let's get right into it. Quick note before we get started, I'm using the Shopify Liquid extension for VS Code, and this comes from Shopify. And it's pretty decent. It does auto formatting, syntax highlighting, all that kind of stuff. So I'd recommend downloading this before you get started. Alright, so I got my theme pulled up right here, and this is just rendering this empty index.liquid file right here. So here's where I'll be writing all my example Liquid. So let's start with variables. There's two main ways to create variables in Liquid. The first one is assign, and to do that you do brackets, percent signs, and then we type assign, which is the keyword. And then we give our variable a name. Let's go myString. So let's set myString equal to, and then we put our string, and let's go hello world. Just like that. And we just created our first variable. So now if we want to display this somewhere on the page, you do that with this time double brackets, and then we put what we want to display in here. So we go myString. So save that and go back to our page. Let's see if it shows. And there we go, we get it right there. So when you're kind of assigning stuff or doing stuff that doesn't render to the page, you'll use brackets, percents, and then if you're displaying something, it's most likely going to be double brackets. So there is probably some exceptions to that way of thinking, but that's how I think of it. Alright, second way to create a variable is with capture. So for that, you go percent brackets, keyword is capture. We give our variable a name, myString2. And then instead of doing equals in here, we're going to go outside of that and then do end capture. And then anything we put between these two tags will get assigned to myString2. So let's go, this is my second string. Just like that. And then let's just wrap this in a p tag. So everything's on a new line. So we got myString, and then let's render myString2 down here. And then let's go back and we should see both of those. So we get hello world, and this is my second string. So there's really three data types you can assign up here. So you could do a string, you could do numbers, and then you could do true or false. So there's no way to basically assign an array right here. So if I tried to go say like 1, 2, 3, this is invalid and it's not going to work. So there's not really a good way to create arrays, but arrays do exist. So you'll get arrays back from Shopify and you'll want to loop through them and stuff. But as far as assigning, there's no way to do this. So next up, we're going to talk about control flow. So we can do if-else statements in Liquid. So let's delete all this. Let's create a new variable. And let's just go and assign age is equal to, and we'll make age equal to 20. And then we'll do an if-else statement down here. So to do that, we go if, and then we put our condition. So let's go if age is greater than 20. We'll go you can view the page. And then to end it, we go end if, just like that. And then age is not greater than 20, so we shouldn't see this on our page. So let's go back, and we get nothing. So let's add an else to this. We can go else, you are too young. So now the else should get displayed. Let's go back and try it. There we go. And then we also have else if, so I could go up here and go else if age is greater than 17, you can view some stuff. So now we should see the second one right here. Let's go back, you can view some stuff, and then if I made age say 24, we'll hit this top one. And then sometimes it takes a second to update. And we have all the standard operators we can use in here. So if we pull up the documentation, we get equals to, not equals to, greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. And then we got or and these are a little different than other languages. So you're not going to do and or, you're going to actually type the word and or. So go, hey, age is greater than 20 and sex is equal to male. I could do stuff like that. And then the other kind of special one is this contains right here. Here you can check if something contains something else. So for instance, I could create a new variable. Let's go assign string is equal to hello world. And I could go up here and I can go and string contains world. So now if string contains the world string, which it does, this will be true. And age is greater than 20, that'll also be true. So we should see you can view this page. Let's go back, refresh, and we still get you can view the page. And then, yeah, besides if else, we also have unless, which is kind of the opposite. So let's delete all this, and we can also do unless. So you go unless age is greater than 21 or 20. And then end unless. So unless that's true, we want to display you are young. And we'll go back, and we don't get anything because that condition's true. So unless age is greater than 20, display that. So say I made it 19, it'll show it. And then unless also has else. So you go else, you're old. And let's make it back to 24. So now this is going to be true, so it goes to the else. And we get, come on. Oh, I did 14. Let's make it 24. And come on, there we go, you're old. So that's unless, and unless does not have else if, just unless and else. And then the last one to show is case. So this is another form of control flow. So we can go case. We want to compare against age, so let's go age. And then to end it, it's end case. And then in here we can do wins. So let's go, hey, win. And it's referring to age right here. So when age is 24, maybe we want to show you are exactly 24. And then we'll add another case. Let's go when 21. You're exactly 21. And then if we wanted something for all other cases, we can do else. Else. And then for else, we'll go, I don't care about your age. Save that. And now my age in this example is 24. So it should show this top one right here. So let's go back and refresh. We get you're exactly 24. And then I change it to 21. We get you're exactly 21. Once it updates, you're exactly 21. And then say I made it 22, we'll get this last case right there. I don't care about your age, so that's a case. All right, so next up we're going to talk about for loops. You'll use these when you want to loop through products and collections and tags and stuff. So to do a for loop, you just go for, and then we're going to be looping through all our collections. So we'll go for collection, which is the individual collection, in collections, and then end for. And then collections right here is a global variable that comes from Shopify. This is an array of all the collections on our store. So inside of here, we can say render the collection title. And to do that, we can go collection, which is the individual collection. And this is a big object with a ton of different properties. So we're just gonna select the title property for now. And I'll show you how you can tell what properties are on what objects and what global variables are available in a little bit. But for now, just know we got collections, and a collection has a title. So this should render the title for each collection. So let's go verify that. And we get 1, 2, 3. And there's some other stuff we can do. A for loop also has an else. And this will run if the array right here is empty. So say there was no collections, we could go, there's no collections. And in our case, there is collections, so we won't see that, but that's how you can do that. And then there's some special keywords you can use in here. So we have the continue keyword, And when the loop hits this, it's just going to continue to the next iteration and skip the rest below it. So we could do something like this. We go if collection.title is equal to, and let me see what collections we got. If it's equal to home page, maybe we just want to continue and skip it. So we go like this. And if, and then continue. And now I'll skip over continue, or skip over home page. Another keyword is break, and this one will break out of the loop entirely. So say after we show home page, we just want to end the loop. We could go like this. So now we go back, and now it stops after home page. And then there's some special properties you can access within a for loop. So you can go for loop dot index, and this will get the index position, and it starts at 1 in Shopify for whatever reason. So we get 1, 2, 3. And then I'm not sure if they added this later or if it's always existed, but you can also do index 0 if you want it to start from 0. There we go. So that's the basics of for loops. And then if you go to the documentation page, there's some other examples they give you, but really that's the main way you'll use it. But say you wanted to do something like 3 times, you could do it like this. And there's some other stuff below I'll let you check out. And then one other thing there is to show is the liquid tag. So say you want to write a bunch of liquid, you could do it all in one tag. And we can do that by typing liquid. And this allows you to do multiple lines. So you go assign age is equal to 33, assign sex is equal to male, assign favorite fruit is equal to orange. If favorite fruit is equal to orange, then assign likes oranges is equal to yes, and if. Now let's indent that. That's kind of how you can write a bunch of liquid all at once. So then if I went down here, I could render all that stuff. So I could go age, sex, favorite fruit, and what do I do? Likes oranges. And we should see all that stuff on the screen. So let's go back, refresh, and I get 33 male orange, yes. So this kind of reminded me of something else I want to show. So in this example, likes oranges may not exist. So down here, this will just be nothing. It won't render anything. But there's another case where you may have, say, like an empty string, and you want to check if the string is empty or not. And to do that, there's a special word called blank. So you go if favorite fruit is equal to blank, and then end if you're missing a favorite fruit. That's just how you can check if something's blank. So you use this a lot with meta fields, which you'll learn about later. But there we go. That's how you can check if something's blank. The last thing I wanted to show before we leave this basic segment is filters. So filters let you transform your data. So say I wanted to make this string uppercase, I could add a filter, and to do that you do a bar and then the filter name, so that would be upcase. And then if we go back, it's going to be all capital letters, just like that. And you can do multiple filters. So I could add another one by doing another bar. And let's try the append filter. And this one accepts an argument. So to pass it an argument, we go colon, and then we give it the string we want to append on. So let's go on YouTube. And now it's going to uppercase coding with Robbie, and then we append it on YouTube after. So that part's lowercase. But if we flip the order, it would uppercase everything. There we go. And you can do this anywhere. You can do this when you're rendering it, or you can do it when you're assigning it. So I can move it up here also. And it works the same. And you could also do ones that take 2 arguments. So another one we could use is replace, and say we want to replace YouTube, which at this point is going to be all capitalized. Say we want to replace that with Twitter. We would do it like that. So comma and then the second argument. So now if we go back, coding with Robbie on Twitter. And that's just some basic string filters. And there's a ton of filters for all different kinds of objects. So I'll link this page in the description, but Yeah, we're looking at, let me get back to it. We're looking at strings right now. Where's strings? Yeah, here's all the string filters you can use. So you can look through these, and we're gonna see some more later in the video. But there's also ones for money. So prices in Shopify are mostly stored as cents. So say I want to convert this to a price, I could go money, and it'll format it nicely. Now if we go back, there we go. And yeah, I just wanted to show you that. That's the basics of filters. So we'll see a lot more of these later in the video. So at this point, you should have a basic understanding of the templating language as a whole. And now we're gonna get into some of the more Shopify specific things you'll see. So if you pull up a Shopify theme, you're gonna have a bunch of folders like this. And one of those folders is gonna be assets. And this is where you put images, maybe some scripts and style sheets. And if you want to access one of these files, to do it in Liquid, you're gonna go like this. You're gonna go the file name in quotes. So let's try to get dog.jpg. And then you have to add a filter. So we go bar, and the filter is asset URL. And this is gonna grab the URL for that asset. So if we went back here and refreshed, you can see it's grabbing it right there. And then we could put that in an image tag if we wanted to display it. So like this. Now let's go back and we'll see the image. So that's pretty cool. And then for images specifically, there's a special one. So you could go asset image URL. And if you use this guy, you can pass a size to it. So I go, hey, I want just medium sized. We go back and refresh, and now it's smaller. So there's a bunch of sizes they list on their documentation, small, medium, large. I'll show them in a second. But you can also put a specific size. So say I want 200 pixels, I could go like that. And if I wanted to add a height too, I could do that, but it's gonna keep the same aspect ratio. So it'll probably take the 100 height instead of the 200 width. So let's see. Yeah. And then, yeah, if you go back to the documentation, it's right here. So it's under hosted file. So this is asset image URL. Let's see what else we got in here. They show all the sizes somewhere. Let's see if we can find it. I'm not sure where it is, but you can look that up later. But there's also file URL and file image URL. And these are files that are stored within the Shopify dashboard right here. So sometimes if you have a theme with settings, they'll upload the images here, or you can manually do it. And if you want to access one of these, you just change it, you just change it to a file URL. So let's go file image URL, and mine's called logo.png. That's gonna go ahead and grab it. Let's go back. There it is. If I want to resize it, I could go maybe 20. Now it's small, and if I didn't want to use this one, I could also just do file URL, and this is gonna grab the master copy of it. But also, even if you were using file image URL, if you want the master version, you just put master. And then I'll grab the main size. There's also a couple special filters for style sheets and scripts. So let's take this out of the image tag. And let's say we had a style.css file. I could go and put the filter style sheet tag. And this is gonna generate HTML that links up that style sheet. So let's go to the browser and refresh. And we can see it right here. And you can do the same for scripts. So if I want script tag, it would do a script tag. Let's see if we can find that right there. And that's assets. The next important Shopify specific thing is snippets and sections. So a snippet is basically just an HTML partial. So let's create a new one. We'll call it hello.liquid. And inside here, we're gonna go h1, hello, and h1. And say we want to include this file within our index file right here. You're gonna go percents this time, and the keyword is render. And then you give it the snippet name. So ours was just hello. You leave off the .liquid part. And then if we went back and refresh, we can see hello right there. And then for sections, which is anything within the sections folder, if you want to render one of those, instead of render, you put section and then the section name. So for instance, header, And the difference between these two is, where is it? There it is. Sections will let you add settings and link up stuff and do a bunch of other stuff that is not going to be covered in this video. But just know that's how you can render a section on the page. So at this point, you're ready to put it all together and start working with the data that Shopify gives you. So to tell what data is available where, you can head to the Liquid Objects documentation page. I'll put this in the description. But this page shows you all the data and where it's available. So for instance, earlier we looked at collections. So let's click collections. And you can see, hey, this is globally accessible. You can access this from any file. And then it gives an example where they loop through the collections and display the title. And then if we click collections right here, it's going to show us what an individual collection looks like. So here we can see all the different properties a collection has. And earlier we accessed the title, but we also could have got the URL, tag, sort options, all kinds of stuff. So let's start doing some stuff. Let's go back here and let's loop through collections again. So let's go if collect, not if, what am I doing? For collection in collections, and then end for. And just one thing to note real quick, we could call this whatever we want. It doesn't have to be collection. I could easily just go C. I could even call the product, the collection product if I wanted to. But I think collection makes the most sense here, so I'll leave it at that. And then I'll show the title again. So H2, we'll go collection.title. And then a collection might have a description. So if it does, we want to show that. So let's go unless collection.description is equal to blank and end unless. Unless that's the case, we want to display the collection description. And then a collection has products, so maybe we want to loop through the collection's products. So we could do a nested for loop. So let's go for product in collection.products. And then remember, a for loop can have an else. So maybe we do an else and we go, if there is no products, we go, there is no products in collection.title. And then if there is products, now we have access to the product object. So let's see what that looks like. So we're in collection and we're looping through collection.products right here. So it's an array of the product objects. So let's click into that. And here's everything we have available on product. So now we could go in here and we could go, you know, maybe H3 product title. And then maybe we want to show the product price. And remember, prices in Shopify are going to be stored as cents. So you're going to want to add a money filter. And then maybe we want to show the product image. So we could come up here, img src. And it's going to be a little different for objects. So say it is an object, which ours is product. You'll just put product here outside of quotes. And then instead of asset URL or file URL, you're just going to go image URL like that. And that's going to grab the product image, hopefully. So let's go back and refresh. And then this product does not have an image, so we'll want to add a check for that. So we go back and we go if product.image, then we'll display it. And if, and then we go back and try it. We refresh and we get no images now. So if we went back to the product object and we look through and we look for product image, we don't have that. We just have .images. But if we scroll up a little bit, we also have featured image, which is what gets displayed. So we can check for this and it'll work. So let's go .featured image and go back and refresh. And now we get images when they do exist. And then maybe we want to show the product tag, so we could do another for loop inside here. We could go for tag in product.tags, end for. And maybe we want to show this in a list. So let's go ul/ul. And we will show an LI for each one. So in here, it's just gonna be tag. And now if we go back, I forgot my slash right there, we save and go back. Now we got the tags for each one. So I would say that's enough to get you started and you're ready to move on to the next video. So from here, I would recommend you check out my Getting Started with Shopify Theme Development video. So in that video, I'm gonna take you through each template and kind of show you the page specific stuff you'll see. So for example, on a product page, you have to do a product form. On a cart page, you have a cart form. Stuff like that, which is too long to cover in this video alone. So I think this is a good place to transition over there. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment. I started recording this and I realized my camera was off, so you don't get to see my face right now. But I'll see you in the next one. Bye.